take 30.
So hold up, Michael Van Sant said I'll do 10 and 10, meaning a split sentence, 10 years, 10 out.
If he would have said 10 and 10, that's doable. Like we'll
agree to 10 and 10.
Yes.
And she stood up and said, you do 30.
Your Honor, I could get him to take 30 years.
My God. You had 2 prosecutors on your case.
Yeah.
No, you had 3. Y'all just gonna say.
No, 3.
I had Judge Tunes, and she was, for the camera's sake, she was different. And when I mean she was different, I went to trial in front of her. And because the way she felt about me, that energy was projected onto the jury, and they felt that same way about me. Because she was pro-prosecution. She was not fair. And she can look at me right now. She was not fair at all. Yeah. However, I had God on my side. I had God on my side. I felt like if she was fair when I went to trial, I would have been vindicated of all my charges. But in 2020, the reason why she was no longer your judge, I don't know if you was aware, she lost her seat. She was voted out. That's why she was no longer your judge. They voted her out. She lost to another upcoming judge. And that's why she was no longer your judge. If I got the timeline mistaken, did she not got off your case sometime late 2020? She was voted off the bench. She was my judge. I went to trial with her in 2019. And she wanted to sentence me so bad that because it was COVID and by law, she had to sentence me inside of the courtroom. I told her, until I'm able to get in the courtroom for you to sentence me, I would not allow you to sentence me via Zoom. Because she wanted to sentence me to a 30-year sentence via Zoom. And I'm like, no, you're going to have to look. If you want to give me that 30 years, you're going to have to look me in the eyes. And God stopped the whole world. April 2020, God stopped the whole world. COVID-19. And no one could enter the courtrooms. Because I blew trial in 2019, and she was unable to sentence me because no one could enter the courtrooms. And she lost her bench late that year. And my case was then given to Judge, a remarkable judge by the name of Judge, my God, what's my judge's name? I'll remember him in a second. But my case was given to a great judge, and I don't know what I would do without him right now. Great judge. But go ahead with your story.
So, where was that?
I was saying that you had Judge Tunes, you had 3 prosecutors. Michael Van Sant wanted to give you 30 years. I mean, 10 and 10. Your lawyer wanted to give you 30.
She said, Your Honor, no, I can make him take 30. So I'm on Zoom. So she ended up doing like a meeting where it's just me and her. And I was like, come see me, please. Like, let me talk to you in person.
Your lawyer?
I'm telling the lawyer, like, yeah, come. But I'm glad she didn't come.
Oh, you had a lot to say, though?
Nah, I would have been going to single man cell.
Wow. You wanted to physically hurt her, or you wanted to say some things to her?
I wanted to do both. I'm not gonna lie. Wow. I just heard them I just heard gang prosecutors say 10 and 10 is doable. We'll accept 10. And she said, no, Your Honor, I can get him to take 30.
Wow.
And that's like
threw you up under the bus, like.
Threw me under the bus, and I realized then, like, not just then, but like being incarcerated from 2013 made me realize, oh no, this is not no slappers on the wrist no more.
Right.
They not playing. Like, you know, they not playing at all.
I'm listening.
So, you know, that made me, like when she told me that, she ain't come see me so fast. So when they waived the death penalty, in 2022.
So Judge Tunes was no longer the case in 2022?
No, I ended up getting Judge Tinkler Mendez.
Man, you had all my judges. My God, she's different. I think she's even worse than Tunez.
Tinkler Mendez worse than Tunez.
I had Judge Blake. I don't know if you heard of Judge Blake.
I heard of Blake, but I don't know.
He's a great judge. He's a great judge. But go ahead.
So when I got shifted to Tinkler Mendez, my first time seeing her was like going in the courtroom. She like, oh, this case been going on too long. Less than 2 years, we going to trial. I'm not finna be playing. And I realized right then and there, like, whoa, like, yeah, she's more different. So right when they waived the death penalty, the lawyer that I had, Ray Shern, the one I said a prosecutor,
right?
She ended up like having health issues, so she was forced to get off the case. And then they gave me another lawyer / prosecutor that go by the name of Thomas Bowman, and he was a prosecutor 20 years.
So how many lawyers you had in total?
I had
all together
3 lawyers.
So you had the first one, lawyer
Ray Shern,
and the second one,
Thomas Bowman.
And they both was prosecutors prior to lawyers.
Thomas Bowman was my second child when I faced the death penalty.
Right.
So when Ray Shern got off, Tinkler Mendez said, "You the first child." My first time ever meeting Thomas Bowman, and I was like, I said, I don't know you, but I'm judging you off how you look. You a piece of shit. I could tell you used to be a prosecutor. He like, how you know that? I was a prosecutor for 20 years. I say, why is I'm getting all the attorneys that were prosecutors for 20 plus years?
Facts.
Like, how you go represent me if you was over there 20 years?
Because they have relations with the other side, and they've been there 20 years, and they're biased.
Yes, I see it.
So, let me ask you this. In that moment, when you were receiving your discovery, did you find out what was going on with your case?
Yeah, I got the discovery in 2013, and when I got the discovery, and when I seen the plea agreement of a close friend, a co-defendant that took a 25-year sentence to testify on me, I thought it was fake.
How did you know it was real when, after looking at it, because did it reveal the name of the individual that testified?
Facts, William Henry Brown, a.k.a. Bill, Lil Bill.
So how did you feel knowing that this was a former friend of you willing to testify against you?
I felt like my heart went to my ass, like went to my feet, like it just dropped. So when the lawyer came to see me, Ray Shern,
and this is in 2013.
2013. I told Ray Shern, I said, I don't believe this. I think I printed this up.
So when did you believe this was real?
She brought audio
of him
and let me hear it.
And this the audios that we're gonna share with the world, with the public.
That's one of the jail calls.
Yeah, one of the jail calls.
She let me hear like the prosecutor.
The interrogation, and
it made me like, whoa. Like, and then he was calling the streets, and then the streets was like praising him for telling on me.
They were?
Facts. There was 1,000,000% in the streets know that. Like, they know that. He had a greater support team than me when I was locked up. And
he was the one implicating you in crime.
Yeah, he was telling on me, and he had a...
Okay, so let me ask you this. Was he being truthful with the other way? Was he telling them that he was implicating you, or what? Did he reverse it and say you said something first and he was just defending himself and implicating you? How did he spin the story?
No, he was telling the streets that we telling on him.
And that's why I need to clarify that, because most of the time that's how that goes.
And a lot of the streets ran with it knowing. This is why I say a lot of people are flawed. They ran with it knowing I signed paperwork. My other co-defendant signed paperwork of him telling. So they wasn't going off his paperwork. They were going off his word.
Because they believed him.
They believed him.
Because at that time, this dude was looked up to in the neighborhood.
So a lot of them, they know I ain't lying. Like he was like a god to a lot of them.
It still is a god.
Still is a god.
Still is a god to a lot of them.
Yeah, they praise him.
And don't know that this God that they look up to don't even live up to his own principles.
No, not at all.
And did not know that this individual's entrapment, as they call it, a lot of individuals through phone calls.
Yeah, fact.
Because as I recall, you're not the only one that was able to reverse the license. There was other individuals because of phone calls that they had of him talking to the state attorney office,
Right.
Michael Van Zant,
Right.
of trying to implicate or trying to conjure up a case against other individuals.
Fact.
So here he is with a state attorney office that
They did not play fair.
they did it. It was not about justice.
Nah, it was
And,
not. It's not.
and when we talk about Michael Van Zant, he's no longer with the state attorney office right now.
No.
And him and Bill was,
Yeah. Him, Bill, and Stephen Mitchell. Like the calls you go play. Like you gotta hear how like, hey, my friend, I love you. You're my friend. Like
they were doing 3 ways,
yeah, they're doing 3 ways.
putting commissary on their account.
Michael Van Zant ended up getting a lease and helping him get a lease and put his name on the lease.
Hold up. So you're
That
saying
mama put his
this is
name-
a state attorney, prosecutor,
Yeah, fact.
putting a lease under his name to
To help William Brown. Yeah.
wow.
At one point, I thought they was more like, because it's like,
The relationship was unreal.
plenty of people told in Miami. So out of everybody I told in Miami, nobody got more like
Benefits.
benefits than William Brown. Michael Van Zant was like, even to Michael Van Zant, William Brown was like a god. Like he was like from having his people willing to like giving them money.
This is, are you, guys, I want the audience to hear what he's saying. Here is a state attorney, prosecutor, giving William Bill family money, paying lease, doing all that he can do, commissary, doing all he can do to appease a confidential informant so he could testify against you.
Testify against me. They were eating street food. They were taking him out, going to see, like when he go to the prosecutor office, he eat Checkers, Burger King. Like they treated him like a king. Like he would get caught with cell phones at TGK.
And never got punished.
He was getting
And that is illegal. That is a charge to introduce cell phones into the Dade County Jail. That is a charge to bring cell phones into the Dade County Jail, because I was actually charged for that. It's called introduction of articles.
Yeah.
And for Bill to get caught with several cell phones and never get charged with not one time, it says it all.
Under a plea agreement, and in the plea agreement it said if he violated, catch a new charge, he get life. So he got caught with knives, he got caught on surveillance.
All these are chargeable offenses and never violated his probation.
Michael Van Zant was dropping his plea, like every time he caught a charge, Michael Van Zant was scooping under the rug, like slapping
Because
on the rim.
he was no longer the target, you were the target.
I was the target, yeah.
So let me ask you this. Why were you the target? Why do you think Michael Van Zant, why was it so much a hatred for you and not Bill?
Because when Bill got, like, Van Zant had a hatred towards Bill, but when Bill got locked up and he decided to cooperate,
He bent over.
bent over backwards. That's
Bent
what he
over.
did.
I like to say when he decided to bend over.
When William Brown decided to bend over, he lied and told them about things I did. Like
Right.
the crimes he did, a lot of the things he did, instead of him putting he was the actual one.
He implicated you.
He said, I did these crimes. So he manipulated the state attorney office, Michael Van Zant, to where the state attorney office believed him. Knowing he's lying,
Right, I understand.
and they believed him, and they end up being his puppet. He was their puppet, but it was both.
So basically we got a killer that was able to manipulate the system and weaponize the system against you now. He used them as a gun to blow your brains out.
Facts.
And he blew your brains out with a full license, thinking that you can't come back from the grave.
Thought I wanted to survive.
So he used them as an instrument. And you understand what I mean by that?
Right.
Because I understand that. Because what people don't understand, when someone hates you for who you are, and they come into a plea agreement with the state attorney office, they use them as a gun to blow you out. They take the witness stand, that's them being a trigger to blow you out.
Facts.
Because because that's the hatred they got against you, and that's why I think that's not fair.
That's not
You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what's the ulterior motive, what's the agenda, and why this man got so much hatred towards me. So what makes you think what he's telling is the truth?
What he was telling?
No, I'm speaking for the jury.
Yeah.
How can you tell that's the truth if someone has that much hatred from you?
And he got caught in lies. The jury seen it.
Right.
And it's just like, and like, you telling on me. I mean, he telling on me. He understand mad at me. Like he picking on me. When he walked by, he smiling at me, winking his eye at me. This is the first time I went to trial.
Oh, you went to trial 2 times?
I went to trial 2 times.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did not, I honestly. So, wow.
I ended up getting a mistrial because the second attorney I had,
I did know about that. I did know about that. Yeah, you went to trial 2.
he fell out.
And that's when you went to trial with a co-defendant.
Yeah, Jimmy Washington.
And your co-defendant got a license.
Yeah, he ended up going all the way. And I got the mistrial because my lawyer.
Your lawyer fell out. And that was God. Because you could have been stuck with a license right now.
Fact.
And he's still, your co-defendant is still in prison with a license?
No, he ended up giving his time back and catching 18 years.
So how long it'll be before he be home?
2013, so 2013. He don't got that long. You know, he got an old case. He got some time on another case that he about to give back, so he'll be out soon. I mean, he got on the old case. He got to give a life sentence back on that case.
So you all went to trial as defendants.
Yes.
Your lawyer fall out because of illness, because he was sick, he fell out.
Illness, but, you know, not me, I'm just, keeping it real. In the prosecutor office, they said he was getting on cocaine.
Wow.
Because in my trial, through the midst of my trial, he kept like, with his nose. And I'm like, I even asked him like, why your nose running the whole trial? Like, I was in trial 4 days. Like on the 4th day, I'm like, hey, I've been watching you for 4 days. In the trial, we've been in trial for 4 days. Why your nose keep running and you sniffing? And he like, I get tired. But I know a cokehead when I see one. So
you believe he was on coke when he fell out?
Yeah.
That's your opinion?
I believed it in the state attorney office.
They believed it also?
They believed it also. The public defender office, all of them.
So that was a blessing in disguise because that's how you end up with an attorney I love so much.
The best attorney in the world.
Michelle Borsche.
Michelle Borsche.
And she jumps on your case. She come on your case in 2023.
She come on the case 2023 in October.
Getting ready for your second trial.
My second trial. And the judge, Tinkler Mendez, told her, she asked for a continuance, and Tinkler Mendez told her trial in 45 days.
So she had to get ready for trial in 45 days?
45 days.
How did that go about?
She had to rush. And by Tinkler Mendez already, I went to trial one time, the first time with her, they already knew the case. So I was already stamped as lose trial. So a week before trial, Michelle Borsche put 16 motions in. And Tinkler Mendez denied all of them, every last one of them. And I never forget, she came over there and told me, and she sat there and she said, look, it's not in your favor. Like,
Borsche.
Michelle Borsche. She like, it's not in your favor. I'm gonna fight, but the deck stacked against you.
Right.
And I like, it is what it is. At the end of the day, can't complain.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not finna tell. I'm not finna.
Right.
So we went to trial,
and she had 45 days to get ready for the trial.
To get ready for the trial.
That's not even fair for an attorney to get.
Not even fair.
For a death, not even a case that was considered a death penalty case. Here he is trying to get ready for a trial in 45 days. I don't think that's enough time for no lawyer.
But I never lost my faith. I always believed in God.
Right.
I always.
Did you take the witness stand?
No.
So when you went to trial for the second time, you see Bill taking a stand on you.
Bill and Dwayne Miller take a stand.
And Michael Van Zandt is the prosecutor.
Stephen Mitchell.
So the jury come back with a guilty verdict. Explain to the audience, how did you feel in that moment when the verdict was being read?
When they said guilty, I never forget, I looked at Michelle. No, Michelle was sitting, she was sitting on this side. When they said, and it was another attorney too, Nora Lewis. So it was both of them. So when they said guilty, I looked at Michelle and was like, nah, I'm like, everything gonna be all right. I looked at the other attorney like, I'm good. They was emotional, but I was more like it was a feeling like, of course but my inside, like hearing guilty on first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, it's like your insides get dry, like it'll snatch your insides.
Right.
And I was smiling, but I'm like, whoa, like
my life over with.
No slaps on the wrist.
Yeah, my life over.
It's official.
I'm looking at a life sentence.
But God is so good, because when they gave me the verdict, I went in back of the holding cell and took off my trial clothes.
Right.
And I praised God.
What you mean you praise God? What was the praise about?
I say, thank you, Father God Almighty, for allowing me to lose trial.
Why did you thank him for allowing you to lose trial? Were you like tired that it was coming to a conclusion?
Nah, I thanked him because I always thanked him for good and never thanked him for bad. I never in my life thanked him for bad at all.
That was powerful.
Till that moment. And the bailiff he said, I've been doing courts 22 years. I never seen nobody lose trial and
thank God
in 22 years. He said, the Spirit talking through me to you, you passed the test. He said, the Spirit is telling me to tell you, you passed the test, you're not going to be in prison long.
That's powerful.
And 6 months later, I gave back whole life sentence plus 30. In 6 months.
And how did that happen?
Michelle Borchard. Shout out to Michelle.
And how was she able to overturn them? And people don't understand, on appeal it's hard to get back. I got people 40 years now still talking about appeal. How did you give appeal back in 4 months?
When they sentenced me to the 4 life sentences plus 30, Michael Von Zamp and Stephen Mitchell said they had an evidential hearing with Corey Smith. Shout out to Bud, Corey Smith. And they said they was finna go to the evidential hearing. And that was Michael Von Zamp's last case ever. I was his last trial.
That was his last case.
Corey Smith was his last evidential hearing, and he retired like Mayweather.
Right.
So Michelle Borchard decided to follow them to that evidential hearing.
To hear what was going on in that case.
To hear what was going on.
And a rabbit hole. A Pandora box.
They played the jail call. Shout out to Allison. Allison too.
Yeah. Shout out to Allison. We can't overstate that. Shout out to Allison on Corey Smith case for unveiling what took place on that case, because it helped Taji Pearson case. But go ahead.
So Michelle went to that evidential hearing, and by Allison being a fighter, and Bud Corey Smith being a fighter, and not giving up.
Right.
He had an evidential hearing, and they ended up playing a jail call where Michael Von Zamp is on the phone with Trial, an ex-friend of Bud that ended up testifying. Well, Trial called Michael Von Zamp, and Michael Von Zamp was on the call telling him in so many words, telling Trial in so many words, hey, this witness trying to help Bud, you need to get him out of the way. Like, something need to happen to this witness. A state prosecutor, a gang prosecutor is telling a person, telling an informant, a rat, or somebody that's testifying to get a witness out the way so Corey Smith don't come home. And they had it all on recorded jail call.
That's crazy.
My case was a jail call.
Right.
But you on a jail call talking to somebody and telling them to, hey, that witness got to get out the way.
And we have that phone call.
I have the phone call of Bill and Von Zamp.
Right. But that phone call was able to help you.
With Corey Smith? Oh, it was a lifesaver. Thank you, Bud. Corey Smith, boy. Allison, Michelle, like, God. Yeah. that made Michelle Borchu dig deep.
Right.
And that made Michelle get the emails, all Michael Von Zant emails, all the lead detectives' emails on my case. That made her.
And she don't. And what we fail to realize, she don't even need to do that, because most lawyers would not even do that. This is leg work. This is groundwork. This is money. Money that you probably did not have. Money that she was probably taking out of her pocket.
Yes.
Because she felt that you were innocent.
Yes. She just knew. She knew in her heart and her gut feeling, Von Zant is holding something back.
Right. And what did she end up finding?
She ended up finding, well, Michael Von Zant and Miami-Dade Police Department, the lead detectives, they end up giving Dwayne Miller $5,000 to move his family. Michael Von Zant end up getting like a lease under his name, but putting William Brown on the
as a tenant.
As a tenant.
And this was not never disclosed to a jury, which should have been disclosed to a jury.
And Dwayne Miller saying, hey, Dwayne Miller, when they interviewed him 2022, Dwayne Miller say, I don't remember nothing, I don't know nothing. Stop trying to make me remember stuff.
Right.
Miami-Dade, the lead detective, gave Dwayne Miller $5,000 and sent the discovery to him and made him remember. So they paid him to remember.
Although he said he could not remember.
He said he didn't remember nothing.
But they paid him $5,000 to remember.
To make him remember. And they withheld that evidence.
And they have that email.
Yes. Michelle Borchu ended up getting that email.
But this is something she could have used during her first trial, but they didn't have access to.
She didn't have access because she had 45 days.
And that's why it's considered newly discovered evidence that she did not have at that time for her trial to prepare for trial.
Yes, right.
So what did they ultimately do with the state prosecutors?
When at the evidentiary hearing of Corey Smith, the prosecutor, Michael Von Zant, resigned that same day. So that what made him resign the same day.
Wow.
So that's what really made Michelle, let me rewind. When the evidentiary hearing, when they played the call, she looked at him and she said, Michael Von Zant, look. And when she walked up to him and said, what's that I just heard? Michael Von Zant looked at her and said, Michael Von Zant looked at her.
We're going to do 2 parts to this. Let's do 2 parts. But let's do 2 parts. We're going to kill it. We're going to do 2 parts. Yeah. We're going to do another, you know what I'm saying? We're going to clean up, we're going to come back. I see that, but we're going to do 2 parts to this.
But the next part, that's what we're doing the inside.
Yeah, that's it. We're going to do a 2-part interview.
Yeah, inside, bro.
Because we're going to clean this up, because it's some things to make it more.
People walking by.
Yeah, we got to condense it. I seen you look at one. I seen you look at, because they did it right in front of me too, bro. So we're going to do a part 2.
Facts.
You know, so we're going to break this into 2.